What channels did you have?
Was it like 18, 46, 56, and 7?
Is this
64, 64 if it was storming outside.
Okay. With the beep, beep. This is the National Weather Service.
Ow. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, what we doing today?
We are back.
We're back.
For Tech Tuesday, episode 2.
Yes.
With your co-host, Killshot and Deuces Wild.
Yeah. I like both.
No. My name's Ben.
I'm Tim.
Tim. He is our senior tech at Aces, and I am the customer service and marketing representative here. We are back answering questions for the people.
For the people.
For the people.
I like it.
We actually it got a lot of response from at least more than what I've experienced with YouTube comments lately for Tech Tuesdays, as opposed to other videos that we've done.
I'm excited, honestly, about the new sensor kit, the one that you had me test the
Oh,
other day.
yeah, that's huge.
Well, the thing is, I've actually used it on a few of the vehicles here.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, wait, really? On the actual vehicles instead of just a test stand?
I put it on the rusty old Mustang, the soon-to-be slow race car.
Okay.
I used it on the Aces truck, and I found that the Mustang, the mechanical gauge that I was using, was a few PSI off. And after I adjusted it, because I'm running it on E85 now, it actually kind of cleaned it up a little bit. It messed with the injector pulse width some. And
really?
A little bit better. I was only a few PSI off, but it just, just the difference between 40 PSI and like 43 PSI is weird.
That's really cool. Is it just because it's not? Is it for the whole cycle, the duty cycle, or is it just, or does it even affect idle that much?
It affects idle, and then it has to self-learn some. It affects, well, really all aspects because the fuel pressure is a bit off. It's the injector rated pressure is 43.5 on our kill shots. Mm-hmm. It's 100-pound-an-hour injectors in here. But if you change the pressure, it changes what that flow rate's actually going to be. So it's the computer thinks one thing, the reality is something different.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily just the fuel pressure itself, but even the software is saying it's expecting one thing and getting another.
The difference I noticed on the gauge that I was using, the mechanical gauge, it wasn't that it was effective. It was the fact that under the hood, the temperature was much, much hotter, which expands the fluid, which changes a few things. Mm-hmm. And when it was set at one temperature, it was indicating something different, and it was readjusted, so it threw the whole fuel pressure off because somebody is already hot and doing a thing, and they're like, the expansion of the fluid that's in the gauge actually affects the little the metal pressure diaphragm inside, which messes with the gauge. So with a 0 to 100 psi pressure transducer, you don't have to deal with all that because it's just strictly mechanical. There's a thing in there, it pushes it,
and
has an ADEC value.
It is so easy to install. I watched you do that in literally 5 seconds.
Yeah, I was hoping for some help, but I don't know, it was really taxing for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. All right, so let's get into it. Tech Tuesdays, episode 2. We'll get in. The first comment here is by 3rd Gen C10s. He says, good info. Here's his question. He has a 1974 C10 that will be running a 5.3 4L60E combo with a 4.8 flat top pistons and a truck Norris cam. That's awesome.
Good combination.
What is a truck Norris cam?
It's about like a medium aggressive camshaft. I think those are from Texas Speed or BT.
Oh,
I think it's Texas Speed because they put really snazzy names on stuff. They got like a bald eagle cam and
Oh, really?
Various few. There's the sloppy stage 2 cam, but I think that's actually from somebody else. And there's like a truck Norris cam. It's pretty cool.
Truck Norris cam.
Yeah.
So that's probably mild on the Startup Wizard for something like that.
Mild. You can go mild with it. It's just just really when you choose what cam it is, it just populates different areas of the VE table. So
sure.
If it's like a low vacuum cam, big cam, it's going to populate higher in the table. And
Is this an LS engine? He says 5.3 with a 4L60E, so I would assume so. but he also says a C10.
It's an LS style engine. It's like a LM7, for instance, something you get out of like an early 2000s Silverado or Tahoe. It's 3rd gen iron block, probably. It's like the original LS swap stuff. You go to a junkyard, you buy one for $1,000. It's got 200,000 miles on it. You get your buddy who has a 4L60E. You pull some 4.8 liter 4.8, which is the 5.3 or 4.8, but the pistons are the same diameter, but it's just a stroke length difference, a different crankshaft.
Okay.
So you can actually put those cool flat top pistons in a 5.3, and you end up with a higher compression.
Oh, really?
Throw a Chuck Norris cam in there, and as long as you got the right some good springs and push rods and such, you got a pretty spicy motor.
That's awesome. I really like that. So if he's going if he's going with the jackpot system, because that's what we got for that, it's obviously going to need trans control. Drive-by cable or drive-by-wire, would you say, in your opinion?
Oh, you can go either way. They made the
so it's up to them at this point until
it's
they
really
know.
dependent on what they come with, because like some of them had a drive-by cable, some were a drive-by-wire. And the early, I'm suspecting that's probably a combination out of a Silverado or a Tahoe, most likely. But the thing is, like, it's probably, if it's a drive-by-wire, it's an 8-pin connector. It's a 3-bolt flange. If it's a drive-by cable, it's just a little bit different intake. Okay. Because it has a allowance for holding the cable.
Right.
But yeah, it doesn't matter if you're using drive-by wire or drive-by cable, you still need trans control, still the Jackpot Pro. Yeah. Cool. Just a little cheaper because you don't have to buy the extra harness.
If you go drive-by-wire, you get that 7-inch handheld included.
I like the 7-inch handheld. I'm a huge
It's right
fan.
here, actually.
Oh, it is? Oh, thanks.
It's right here, actually. And I really like it. It's not, compared to the 5-inch, it's not a whole lot. It doesn't seem like it's a whole lot bigger. I can move my hands. It's not a whole lot bigger, but you can definitely tell the difference. For one, you kind of get rid of the buttons that are on the 5-inch handheld, which is really nice. I'll set that up here in just a second. So it's all digital. So that's epic. And one thing that I really do like about the 7-inch handheld is that it's already compatible with every single thing that we've had for the 5-inch handheld and more, whether that's software or the actual the mount that holds the 5-inch also holds the 7-inch. So if you decide to switch it out, go for it. You can just put it right where it was.
Yeah. And also, this is the new generation of these too. So, for instance, also if you're mounting these 7 inches with the GPS, like inside of a dash, like on a '56 Chevy or something, where it's made of pure steel. What are you doing over there?
I totally didn't try. I got that on. Whatever.
The GPS signal isn't like super strong coming through the car, so we actually have a GPS repeater, like an amplifier for GPS. So you mount it on top of your car or on your dash, and then there's another little a repeater section of it that will go inside the dash or inside the car, and it repeats that GPS signal from where it's picking up on the dash to under the dash to where it can pick it up inside of here. So it doesn't plug in or anything. It plugs into like some power, but it works. So after you get to moving, then your GPS comes on live. And I did a weird amount of testing with that, like, hiding it in the glove box and all kinds of stuff, trying to kill the GPS signal. And then I used an amp on there, and I could just put it anywhere in the vehicle at that point.
Wow. That's epic.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I love that.
Too. Awesome, guys.
No.
Or was it a comment too?
That's a comment too. Question
Next
2.
Question, does LS Jackpot work on a GM 8.1? That's a big block LS. So yeah, it does work. It does work on an 8.1. It's just a big old motor.
Okay.
You just got to know what reluctor wheel you're doing. You got to know what injectors you're having on there. And some of the sensors I don't think plug in just the same, but you can kind of sort that out, get different sensors or whatever.
Do you need would you need a top end kit? Do we even have something in the top end kit that will
not
work
for a
with
big
that?
block LS now.
Oh wow, so
it's a whole lot of motor. Those things are not known for fuel efficiency.
Fair enough.
You can make them make good power. I did one on another company's brand standalone system. It was a twin turbo setup, and it was a little weird on the tuning because it was a big block. But I mean, I can imagine just with what I had to adjust, like our systems wouldn't be a massive deal to do. You just have to go into the tuning software and mess with some fuel and a little bit of air. Should be fine. When are we getting better mics?
We're getting better mics probably next week.
Oh, neat.
Is the idea. They put in the purchase order for them. It'll look all official with the real podcast mics.
Who was that? Mike Halt?
I don't even remember.
I think so. Yeah, he's a big fan actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I think the idea of having the mics is better, but I'm a more use my hands to talk kind of guy anyway. So it'll be better to, as long as I'm not like whacking the mic, it'll look a lot better and sound a lot better. Plus, I did see with the new mics that we're getting, they're like, you can actually detach them from the stand and you can like carry them around. So if we do stuff at the test stand, or if we're going somewhere, if we're at a trade show or something, and we do something for Tech Tuesdays, portable mics.
I can get with it, man. I'm sorry, Cole W5956. I did not read your name. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You get better.
Man, I can't read from this distance.
That's okay. I'm not gonna say that.
Listen. Okay. I don't word very well. I math well.
Okay, that's fair. You know, that's my job. I'll speak well. You math well.
Yes.
For when people really do have those questions. Okay, so Jeremy Heaps 2053 asks, what injectors are your LS swap harness setup? For the truck LS engine, it has EV1 and EV6 and Moltec. So essentially, what injectors do we use? High impedance EV6, right?
High impedance EV6 Pico injectors is what we're selling. But you can plug them into an EV6 connector as long as you know what the flow rate is and what their injector rated pressure is. You can just put that information in and send it to the moon.
So on the handheld device, you can actually input your injector size and the flow rate on the Start Wizard, or is it just the injector size?
It's just injector size. Like if you know, I got 34 pound an hour injectors, you put that in, do a thing, but you're running a Corvette style regulator. Okay. Right? A return filter regulator, whatever you want to call it. And it's running at 58 pounds. After you set up your Wizard and everything, you go back into fuel and basic, scroll down a smidge, and you'll see injector rated pressure will be like 300 kPa, which is 43.5 psi. You need to change it to 400 kPa or 58 psi. Too easy.
That's actually not too bad. Is that something along the lines that you did with the EV, or not EV, E85 tables as well on the handheld? Or did you control that to switch it from? Because usually you use the software, but you're working on something for that as well.
Oh, I'm trying to make E85 calibrations in 1,000 different ways. One is like the correct way to do it. Another way is messing with
the correct way. The one that we recommend that you use.
The safest one is less hacky.
That's terrifying.
But it worked. It worked.
Didn't you run it out of a jerry can the first time you hooked it up with the E85?
Yeah, the first few times, yeah.
Is that not? Is that even okay? Is that like normal? I guess
not safe if you're asking that.
Okay,
no.
all right. So just
it's in a controlled environment, and it's not even my truck, so I can just like let it chill out in the parking lot and do a thing.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
okay, cool.
No, that's the we just had a fuel can, one of the high speed fuel cans, and just attached a fuel pump regulator to it, and kind of just secured it and wired it in.
Okay.
Not a really big deal. But yeah, it was doing its job good. Come from the thing, going through the regulator, coming back, returning, going out to the unit. But yeah, we on that one we actually adjusted the fuel table and the air fuel ratios. And then another way to do it is a coefficient value you can change and then meet your targets. And I'm gonna have to make a whole video on it because it's kind of a complex thing about messing with the coefficient values. Yeah, but. It's not even like the worst thing in the world. It's just kind of a hidden thing in the advanced tuning software that nobody knows what it does. Yeah. But I do. But I have to put the information out.
Nice.
The other way was the way I did it in my Mustang video. Not a lot of people like the fact that I was filming a dumpster first, but I think they all had a laugh.
I thought it was funny.
I did the same thing if I had a Camaro. I don't feel that way. It's all the same.
Hey. What about a Dodge Challenger?
Nobody's got Dodge Challenger money. We don't have Mopar money here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we got Chevy and Ford money.
Fair enough. Touche. Also, back to Jeremy's question, he's also asking for EV1 and Moltec injectors as well. So, like we said earlier, we don't actually have the connectors on the harness, or the harness doesn't connect into Moltec or EV1 injectors, but you can go to one of our third-party dealers anywhere on our website, Summit Racing, Nichols, just about any of our third-party dealers, and you can reach out to them, or our adapters found at just a basic auto parts store.
It's hard to find them at auto parts store. They'll actually order them from a site like Amazon or eBay or something like that.
Okay.
They're cheap. I mean, the adapter to go from if you have an EV6 plug on our harness and then you're going to an old Bosch style EV1 high impedance injector, not the low impedance ones, which is about 12 ohms.
Yeah. I learned that.
You can run into actually just buying, it's like a $14 to $30 set of adapters, and you just clip them in.
Okay.
You really do want to pay for quality on those.
All right.
But yeah, Moltec's the most common one on early 2000s GM LS swap ones you'll get from a salvage yard or whatever, or pull out of a wrecked Tahoe to put in your Camaro or your Mustang. That's my territory. EV1s, your old school Bosch style injectors. You saw those on like the LS1s and some of the other earlier ones. It's pretty old school common, but still common. EV6 is like the broadest spectrum, modern stuff. So that's why we chose that. It's the most common one, and weirdly enough, it is the most cost effective to manufacture because there's not a whole lot of extra moving parts and clips and things that can break and degrade.
I'm kidding. Go for it.
Let's see. How much is the 7-inch handheld without return? Now, that answer is a Ben territory because I do tech. I barely know how much this stuff costs.
I do know that. The 7-inch handheld is $599.99 before tax, before shipping. And you can actually, so you said without return. So that's what it is. You go to our website, just click the 7-inch handheld, and that'll be it there. Depending on where you live in the States, it's probably not going to be more than $20 tax on that. And then shipping is your typical rate for shipping. So basically with the 7-inch handheld, you've got two options. The first one is just to buy it outright. If you're wanting to just go to the 7-inch handheld. If you already have the 5-inch, you got a system that you like and you're running and you want to go to the 7-inch handheld, that's going to be your only option. If you have not purchased if you've never purchased the system yet, or considering it or anything like that, you can ask either by calling in or later on down the road once you actually get the system at your place and you say, I want to go to the 7-inch handheld. You can give us a call and say, hey, I would like to switch out my handheld, my 5-inch for a 7-inch handheld, and we will trade that in with a $200 credit towards that 7-inch handheld upgrade.
Is that a used 5-inch handheld, or is that like a brand new out the box? Hey,
brand new out the box. Gotcha. So, like for example, if you just bought a kill shot or a jackpot or something like that, and a lot of the jackpot top end kits, jackpot pro kits, come with the 7-inch handheld, but a couple of them do not. So, if you decide to go with the 7-inch handheld, either give us a call. There's a note section on our website when you're actually going through the checkout, and you can say, plan to upgrade to a 7-inch handheld. So from there, we'll either reach out to you and help you with that transaction, or you can either purchase the 7-inch handheld already and say that you're planning on switching out, and we can apply that credit to you afterwards and refund you the difference. Or maybe you get the system, you haven't installed it yet, you've got that 5-inch handheld, and you're like, yeah, I'd rather upgrade it, and haven't installed it yet. You can send it back. You'll give it a look, or one of the other techs will give it a look and say, it's totally fine, $200 credit. So
Bing.
Easy as that, easy as pie. Though, I mean, I get that can get a little bit confusing for sure, especially for people who've already had our systems out there and they want that new 7-inch handheld. But it's for new, unused 5-inch handhelds is for that $200 credit.
Oh yeah. I had a guy I was talking to earlier that still had his in a wrapper,
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I just missed out on the 7-inch. Y'all had the special going on. I was like, oh yeah, we got a trade-in thing going on with that. So
totally.
Just, call Daniel.
Yeah. Either way. Yeah. Tech Tuesdays.
Tech Tuesdays.
Look at this. I mean, we got the handhelds out here. We got the gold kill shot. Look at that one.
I got to install the first one.
You actually posted it on Facebook and that,
before the release.
You said, "Am I the first one?" And it was literally no. They hadn't even left the facility yet.
Oh.
I like it. It's like that carburetor look. Like
the
first
old dichromate carbs.
Yeah.
Old Holly stuff, man.
Exactly.
Back when carbs were super neat. Actually, carbs are still great. I get a lot of people that have an amazing setup and they still have a carburetor and they're like, I'm interested in EFI. I'm like, I can give you all the information in the world, but if your car runs so amazing right now, I mean, what are you looking to really gain? And it just, it kind of goes back into the thing. Like, I do carburetors. I do fuel injection too. Yeah. And there's some applications where carburetors are just dialed in for exactly what you're doing, whether it's your racing bracket or what have you not. And then everybody else just, really the EFI is the easy button for a lot of things. When it comes to, I want to run a certain application, but I need all this extra tunability that you can't get with an older archaic system where it's just
fuel efficiency. You can dial that in even more on EFI.
Yeah, you can tip in a little bit better on the fuel efficiency with the EFI setup. Yeah, you can with a well-adjusted carburetor, but you're looking at, it's harder. It's harder to do that way to get all that you want. Whereas this, you can, focus on the idle, focus on the cruise, focus on the wide open throttle, and all the transitions in between, and just go beepity boop there.
I love it. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode of Tech Tuesday. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or like if you did like the video. Otherwise, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Aces Fuel Injection. You can check out Tim's channel. Also attached to the Aces channel in case you want to get some more videos on just some more everyday type content going on there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.